doing it.
Sure that maybe some of them are on their way since it's the first day. But just work on your Who I Am sheet.
Good morning. Please pause for a moment of quiet reflection. Students, parking on campus is paid by hang tag only. If you have not purchased a hang tag allowing you to park on campus, you must do so to avoid tickets and referrals. Student parking is in the front lot only. No students are allowed to park on the sides or back of campus for any reason at any time. Senior portrait proof books will be distributed on August the 8th during lunch in the cafe. Seniors will sign for the proof book. Any freshman who is interested in participating in Student Government Association, please stop by Ms. Work's room 122 and pick up an application. All applications are due by Friday, August the 12th at 3:30. Girls softball tryouts will be held on August 25th and 26th of 2016. The tryouts will be held each afternoon at Westwood Park from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. The sign-up for tryouts see Coach Booth in the Main Street Gym or Coach Gregory in room 253. Please sign up before August 2nd. You will need a current physical, cleats, softball gloves, and athletic clothing in order to participate in tryouts. Teachers, we are looking for the voices of Opelika. Please listen carefully to the following students. If you like what you hear, please send Ms. A. Landis the name of your favorite newest voice of Opelika this morning. Hi, my name is Deanna Lark and I run track.
My name is Corey Williams. I was the application in the club. So I'll be able to talk about.
Teachers, good morning. My name is Chelsea Fisher and I'm from Alaska. And I'm super excited to get the opportunity to possibly become the new voice of Opelika High School. If you like what you hear, please vote for me. Good morning. My name is Julie Mitchell and I am not from Alaska. Hi teachers, it's Taylor Watley and I'd love to be the new voice of Opelika High School.
Remember, this is Corey Williams. I need y'all to vote for me.
No, this is Kayla Watley and I really need you to vote for me. Thank you, thank you. Okay, have a great day and go Dogs.
Alright, let's take about 5 minutes to work on the who I am sheet. There's no really right or wrong answers, just want to get to know you a little bit. And there's a little place for a self-portrait even, so if you like to draw, that's great. If not, stick figure works just fine. If you get done with that a little early, you can turn it over and just write me a little note. It could be like what you did over the summer, or it could be just something you want me to know about you that's special. Whatever you want to do. So you have about 5 minutes, and if you don't finish, that's okay. Just fill out the parts you think is most important. get them. Even if you're not done, it's okay. Just whatever you were able to finish. Awesome. Bless you. Bless you again. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Woo, bless you. So, welcome, bienvenue. My name is Madame Manel, and yes, you can call me Madame, or Madame Manel is fine too. And I'm just so excited to have you. This is one of my favorite classes to teach. Français 1, right, French 1. And so today, I know yesterday, probably a lot of people telling you a lot of rules and stuff, right? We have to do a little bit of that, but I promise we're not going to do that the whole time, okay? So, a little bit about our class, a little bit about me. And then we'll kind of do something a little more fun at the end, for sure. So, I asked about you on the Who I Am sheet. It's only fair that I tell you a little bit about me. And a little bit about what we're doing. So, this class is not like any other class that you are going to take. Has anybody taken a foreign language before? Nobody? Okay, one? Yes. Yeah. When you were at Lee Scott? Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
I did too, I just forgot.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So when you were younger, when you like middle school or elementary school? Elementary school. Okay, so maybe it'll be a little bit different, but a lot of us, this is our first foreign language class. We really don't know what to expect. This is a very different kind of class than anything else you've ever done before, and I promise it's really cool. So the other thing is, raise your hand if you look around the room. Is there anybody in this room that you don't know or you don't know very well? Raise your hand. Okay, that's like everybody. So there's somebody in here that you don't know. We're kind of a nice little small group. So another thing we're going to do today is just try to get to know each other a little bit better. Okay, why speak French? I bet maybe somebody's already asked you this. Why are you taking French? Why not Spanish? Why not Latin? Why not German? Whatever. All languages are awesome and valid, but if you're just trying to sort of think about why would French be so cool, well, one of the things is French is spoken on every single continent in the entire world. If you look back at that map on the back of my wall, you see all that orange? That's where French is an official language. So in North America, we have Canada, right, Quebec. Everybody there speaks French, okay? Even Louisiana in the United States. If you go below us, you have Haiti, which is Haiti, and you have Martinique, Guadeloupe. You have some of the Caribbean islands. That's the language that they speak there. If you go down even to South America, you have French Guiana. And then if you go to Europe, where's the big one in Europe? France, right? Of course, France is obviously the one that we all think of. You have Belgium and Luxembourg, Swiss, which is Switzerland. So it's not just France in Europe, okay? There's a lot of different countries in Europe. And then where do you see the most orange? Can anybody look back there and just call out where you see the most orange? What continent is that? Africa. Yeah, look at Africa. And even you can see that maybe on top, at the top of Africa, there's some stripy lines. Those are where French is maybe a second language or like a government official language. So, whoa, I mean, look at all those African countries. And then that little island off the coast of Africa, does anybody know what that little island is? It's Madagascar, that's right. Well, it's not really a little island, is it? It's pretty big. They speak only French, right? That's Madagascar. If you go to Asia, there are some remnants of French colonies in Vietnam. And some areas there, the French colonized that area, so you have pockets of people there. And then, of course, Australia. So every continent, you're going to have French speakers. The other thing is, when people learn a foreign language, what do you think the first foreign language is? Like if you're Chinese, or if you are Brazilian, or if you are German, what do you think one of the first foreign languages would be that you would learn? Just call it out. Yeah, English. Okay, so that's a big foreign language in the world. The second most widely learned foreign language in the world is what? French. Okay, so if you are traveling and somebody doesn't speak English, what's the next most likely language that they speak? I'll say it right, French. So if you're, let's pretend that you're in Italy and somebody doesn't speak English and you don't speak Italian, what's maybe the language that you could communicate in? French, right? They might speak French. That's the most next likeliest language that they would speak. If you're in Japan, okay, and they don't speak English, you don't speak Japanese, what's the most likely language that you both might speak? French. Okay, so it's really useful, especially if you're traveling internationally. Very useful. Another thing is, if you do want to travel, Paris, France is the #1 tourist destination in the entire world. Anybody think they would like to go there someday? Me, okay, I would like to go there. I have been there, and I will tell you this. It is as amazing as you think it would be, and more, okay? It is like stepping into a postcard. It is as cool as you think it's going to be, but it's probably going to exceed your expectations. So if you're going to be traveling somewhere, where's the #1 place people want to go in the entire world? Paris, France. Okay? The other thing is, if you already know English, guess how many French words you already know? 15,000 French words. I'm going to test you. Test 1. What is this? A telephone. Whoa, that is tough. You guys ready for this class? Telephone in la poubelle. What about over there? Look at my desk. Do you see that thing that emits light when you turn it on? What is that? Une lampe. Whoa. Y'all, this is complicated. I don't know if you can handle it. So I'm just telling you, there are 15,000 words like that you already know. That's because in 1066, Guillaume the Conquérant, who has anybody heard of William the Conqueror? William the Conqueror in your history class, maybe? He was French, he invaded England, okay? And when he invaded England, guess what happened to the two languages? They got all mixed together, and so the English kind of had to borrow all of these French words, and that was almost 1,000 years ago. We've had these words for that long. So already in your brain, you have the biggest head start. You have the biggest advantage. So if you wanted to start a language, a new language, this is the best choice because you already know 15,000 words. You can't say that for Spanish, you can't say that for German, you can't say that for Latin, you can't say that for Chinese, you can't say that for Russian. This is the closest language to English that we have, okay? So it's gonna help you, you already know a lot. It's the language of culture, fashion, art, science, philosophy. Anything you're interested in, you can link it to French, I promise you that. And then of course, if you like music, anybody a musician in here? Yeah, me too. If you're into film, whatever it is, comics, it's that there's a whole other world of stuff in another language. We were listening to some French music earlier. If you know French, you can access it. That's really, really cool, okay? So there are other reasons, there's tons of other reasons. Maybe you just want to take French because it sounds cool. Because it does sound cool. It's a really musical language. It's very beautiful to speak and to hear it spoken. So there's all kinds of reasons why you might want to take this as a foreign language. A little bit about me. Who am I? I'm not from Opelika. I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and I moved to Alabama in 2008. I was at the University of Notre Dame. That's all the way up in Indiana, super far away. And my family moved to Alabama, and I have 2 younger sisters, and so I decided to transfer to Auburn University, and so I could be with my family. And so I've lived here for quite a while, and I really like it. I don't miss the snow. I'll say that much. I do not miss the snow up there. What do I like to do? I love learning. I will tell you I'm a huge nerd, and I'm not afraid to tell you that. I love to learn stuff. I love to just anything. Look stuff up, learn new things. I love watching movies and finding YouTube things, of course. I have 2 cats, Max and Maggie, and I'm a violinist. So I play the violin in the Auburn Community Orchestra, which is through the university. And I'll play gigs and stuff at local churches if there's like a Christmas show or just whatever they got going on. I play tennis and I have a love of travel. Just it's a little bit expensive, so maybe I have more money, I'd be traveling more. Where did I go to school? I told you I went to the University of Notre Dame, and then went there for a couple of years, and I transferred to Auburn so I could be near my family.
Teachers, please pardon this interruption for 2 announcements from guidance. First, all school forms, lunch forms, personal information forms, handbook forms should be turned in to guidance each morning. Also, your students this morning should either have a red schedule or a green schedule. If you have a student in your room that still has a white schedule or no schedule at all, please send them immediately to the guidance office. That is this block immediately. If they do not have a red schedule, meaning they were here yesterday, or a green schedule, meaning they are here for the first time today. Thank you.
I saw your schedules, you looked good to go, you were on my list, so we're good. I have my bachelor's degree from Auburn, War Eagle. Woo, okay. If you're an Alabama fan, we can still be friends. Okay, I won't hold that against you. I have several Alabama fan cards. So I have my bachelor's degree in French, and then my master's degree I have in French education. So I just kept going to school so that I could learn how to be a better French teacher, okay? And that included a stay at a French university. I studied at a French university through my master's program, because people always want to know, have you been to France? How many times have you been? I also went to France when I was in high school, when I was your age. I was actually 16, and I went with my high school French classes, my teachers, and we stayed for 3 weeks, and we stayed with a family. It was awesome. It was really cool. So eventually, I would like to start taking you all, like I would like to start taking groups. So if that's something you're interested in, it would not be this coming summer, but perhaps the next summer, right? And so if that's something you might want to do, let me know, kind of now in the near future. That way we can start planning. But I would love to take you to France. A little bit about my family. This is my husband. This is Mr. This is we're at the airport ready to fly somewhere. And I have 2 kitty cats. I told you that, right? Max and Maggie. This is Max. This is Maggie. I love my kitties. They're my babies. Except I brought somebody today to share with you. This is Christopher, okay? He's not here yet, but I still get to bring him to school to show him to you. He's going to be here next month, probably, okay? So he is due September 20th. I don't know how much you know about babies, but due dates are not guaranteed dates, okay? They're kind of just like our best guess of when he's going to be here. He could be here early, and he could be here like, August 30th or something, or he could be late and be here like October 1st. So we don't know. We'll just kind of play it by ear. But I have good news for you. This is Mademoiselle Whaley. Let's say bonjour to her. She is my intern for this semester. It just so happened that she had to intern this fall anyway. So it just kind of coincided with this. So even if I were here, Miss Whaley, she has to teach for her master's program 10 to 12 weeks straight. So even if I were here, I'll be sitting in that little chair over there kind of just letting her do her thing. So she's going to kind of take over teaching you. She will be your teacher at the end of this month, beginning of September. And then I will be back either in December or January. Depends on when he comes, okay? So if he gets here a little bit early, I'll come back before Christmas. If he's here on time a little bit later, I'll be back after the Christmas holidays, okay? And she'll be with you the whole time. And of course, she speaks French, and she's getting her master's in French teaching, so that's just lucky. We just lucked out that we had that, because I don't know if y'all know many people that are French teachers in this town, but there's not that many, so it worked out. And then the great thing is I have you all here. So I'll get to know you. We'll have like good, solid, 6 weeks together. And then she'll have already started teaching. And then when I come back, we'll have the whole second semester together. So it just works out pretty nicely. So I don't have anything but fur babies on the outside world right now. But this is Max. He gets ready with me for school every day. And then I have two sisters. This is a really old picture. This is probably about 6 years old. This is my sister Ellen. She is an art student at Auburn University, so fine arts. And this is Mary. She's still in high school. And my family lives in Auburn. And then this is me at Versailles. Anybody know what Versailles is? Anybody ever heard of that? Anybody? Yeah. You've heard, oh, it's a palace. She's totally right. It's where the French kings used to live, okay? So Louis the 14th, Louis the 16th, anybody heard of Marie Antoinette? She was guillotinée, right? So she had her head, unfortunately, chopped off during the French Revolution. And they lived this opulent, incredibly luxurious lifestyle. This is one of the coolest places probably that I've been to in France. And if you go on a trip with me, we definitely would go there, okay, and visit it. And that's me and my husband, Mr. Arnell, at a Christmas party. He works at APR. I don't know if anybody's heard of that. It's on 280. It's a big building. It says APR. They make Porsches, Volkswagens, and Audis go like super, super fast. So if you're into cars, I don't know, I'm not super into cars, but I know way more about cars than I should, just because of that. But if you're into that, let me know, I can hook you up. So just some expectations. The biggest one is like, be ready to learn when you come in here. Today is a lot of me talking. I don't really enjoy this part. It's just a lot of like, getting to know you, trying to set up the class. But once we hit the end of this class and we come back on Tuesday, it's gonna be like you guys, it's gonna be focused on you guys, okay? So just be ready to learn, be ready to go. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Why do I have it up there? Who thinks that they can learn French in French? No English. Raise your hand. Oh, nobody? Nobody thinks they can do it? Not gonna use English, we're gonna learn French. Wow. Okay, that's not a very promising start, guys. I promise you, you're not unusual. Every day, every time I ask that question, I usually don't get any hands. Okay? But I promise you, by the end of this class today, you should be raising your hand because I'm going to prove to you that you can do it. Okay? That's pretty big. Is that a pretty big promise I'm making? Yeah. Okay, so you're like, I don't know if she's going to be able to deliver on that, but I will show you that you can do it. Okay? So the way our classroom works, it's very special. It's a pseudo-immersion environment. Yes, Miss Mitchell. Oh, hi. Are you Scarlett?
Donisha.
Oh, Donisha. Oh, got somebody new.
Yes,
Wonderful.
today. She rolled today.
Well, good. I got an extra place set up for you. And you can go right
Anybody going to driver's ed next? Okay, well,
You
that's
can be an 11. Thank you
supposed
for
to driver's ed, so I kind of showed her,
Okay.
kind of pointed in that direction.
awesome.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome. Thanks. Welcome. Okay, so we were just saying that our class is kind of crazy different, and it's a pseudo immersion, meaning false immersion, where we pretend like this is a place where we only speak French, okay? And everybody said, I don't think I can do that, right? I've told you I'm going to prove you wrong, because if you think you can do it, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. So we have to have an open mind. Your brain is a muscle. We have to exercise it. We're going to be speaking French. I'm going to be speaking French pretty much the whole time. I am not going to speak English to you. If I do, it'll be very rare, okay? If we're going to do it that way, do we need to be kind of on the same page about how this is going to go? Yes. Okay, we definitely do. And I promise, I think I've taught French 1, I want to say maybe 9 times, okay? So I promise it will work. It's tried and true. It's tested. Just got to trust me, okay? But we need to have some ground rules because we all need to know how this is going to be set up because we're not going to be using English, okay? So these are not too baby, it's just so we all understand what's going on. The first thing is, y'all are going to be talking. You're going to be doing activities. You might be up, wandering around the room, trying to get something done for whatever activity we're doing. There's a lot of times when I'm going to need to get your attention. There's just one of me and there's a lot of you, okay? So if I need your attention, I'm going to say class. Whoa, that is a hard French word, right? Class. And you're going to say we back. And you're going to stop what you're doing and you look at me for whatever's coming next. Okay? Let's try that. Class.
We.
Pretty good. However I say class is how you're going to say we back to me. Okay, let's try it. Class, class.
We.
Class.
We.
Class.
We.
Class. That's pretty good. Who do we got here? Is this Scarlett? Hi, Scarlett. Do you have your check-in form? Okay, why don't you go to the office and get the check-in form and come right back. I got your receipt all ready to go. It's when you're tardy, so just go to the...
I've been in the office the whole time.
Okay, just go get me a note. Okay, awesome. So everybody get how that works? Let's try it one more time. Class.
We.
Class.
We.
Week. Okay, so pretty good. That's easy. Moving on. Enseigner. Okay, what is this? Sometimes you're going to be teaching to your partner. Like, you're a really good teacher. I mean, you might have just done something and you need to explain it back to them. And so I'm gonna do a clap. Anybody a musician in here? Okay, you got a couple people, that's good. I'm gonna do some sort of a clap, and I'll say enseigner, that means teach. Then you do the same clap, and you say okay, all right? Enseigner. Okay. You guys are sharp. It's the first class of the day, I'm impressed. So it could be more complicated. Enseigner. Okay, there you go. So once you say okay, you're going to turn your body to your partner and you're going to teach them whatever it was that I told you to teach them. Pretty easy, right? So what we're going to do, let's try it with the class suite. Tell your partner, teach your partner, and you're special. You'll have to work as a group of 3. You'll work as a group of three, because we're missing Scarlett. But you tell them, what's class suite? When you hear class, what do you do? How do you do it? What is this all about? Okay? Enseigner.
Okay.
So teach your partner. Talk to them. What is this class suite business? I say what, you say what back. Why do we do it? Class.
We.
Class. You got it. That's really good. So, I think you understand the whole idea. Now what we're going to do, we are going to use gestures. I am a walking game of charades, I feel like sometimes, because we're not going to be using English. How in the world are you going to understand what I'm talking about? I have to use my hands or body to explain things to you. Pictures, we use lots of pictures, all kinds of stuff. So we have a few rules so that when we are doing this class, everybody is on the same page and understands how it's going to operate. When we learn the rules, I'm going to have some gestures to help you learn the rules. Because, come on in, Scarlett. Awesome. Perfect. And you're right, I believe you're number 2, right there. Just take a seat. Perfect. So, we're going to be using gestures to learn the rules because there's a lot of brain research that shows that if you have a gesture with what you're learning, you will remember it better. So should we test the theory? Yes, let's test the theory and see if that's true. And we'll learn a little bit of French on the way. So let's all start with numeral Let's raise our hand like this. Numeral And on Europe, this is If you were to do this, what would that be? 2. Yikes. So if you're trying to get like a Coca-Cola, and you're like, a Coca-Cola, please, how many are they going to bring you? 2. That's not what you wanted, okay? So we have to learn it this way. This is So let's all put our hand up there. If you want to say it, you can say it.